So, Quick Esports versus nuage is our next fixture. Maybe not the most exciting one on the docket for tonight, but I think a really important game. And I think the best way to demonstrate its importance is if I show you the standings. If I show you the standings, you can see that Quick Esports and nuage are currently here in joint 8th place alongside Celtas, all on 4 wins. Obviously, Celtas also actually have a game in hand. I think, are they playing... Celtas also playing? I feel like I saw them. But maybe that's a trick. Oh no, they're playing after Axia. So to be fair, they probably won't win their game in hand. So it might be all tied up 4-5, 4-5, 4-5. But obviously, one of these teams will go 5-5 and join R8 and the Sovereigns up here, which will be important, of course, because it's top 8 is the important thing at the moment in this round robin. The top 8 teams go up to a playoff bracket of some sorts. The details are not yet confirmed, but what will happen is we'll get those top 8 teams, and then the top 3 teams from that will secure spots of Esports World Cup, which is obviously that's the kind of thing everyone's fighting for. Obviously, some of this can shift a little bit based on the results of OWCS Dallas in terms of how many spots each region claim. You know, if EMEA do particularly well at Dallas, they might claim both spots, and then maybe there's more space in this top 8 for more teams to go through. But we'll wait and see. Meanwhile, in this actual game itself, we can get... Where are we? On the clock countdown. We've got a minute left. So a quick introduction for both teams, because I think we're going to get a very different look from both teams here in terms of what they choose to run. Quick Esports, you might remember them more as D Impero from OWCS Stage 2, and they really prefer brawly compositions. Crocs, a lot of Reinhardt. Obviously, the fact when it was a Rissa meta was probably a big buff in this team, and that's why we saw them do so well for so long. And also China, probably one of the star players, always goes off on Tracer, does quite a lot for his team. So they're going to want to lean, obviously, the draft, and we'll talk about the draft when we get to it, but they'll want to lean over maps that direction. They're very much a brawl team, a Lucio-based team, whereas nuage on the other side are actually very much a dive team, maybe a bit of a rarity in EMEA to have a team that focuses on dive, but they've been trending up a lot lately. I think Tama has been super impressive on Winston, really one of the breakout performances in FACEIT that we've seen so far. Likewise, I think Zirion and Dip have also been very good, especially when they can get Dip onto the Echo. And if they're playing into a lot of Lucio-based comps, you got to reckon Dip's going to get himself onto that Echo more and more commonly. And that could be a real problem for Quick Esports here. And also, we saw nuage give Peps a very close game last week. And I think that actually, when nuage looked their best, was when they were playing dive into Brawl, which is the matchup they should get all of today. So in theory, this is actually... both in terms of their current form and in terms of the compositional matchups they're going to get, this should be a huge advantage for nuage. So I'm actually incredibly nuage favoured in terms of how I think this matchup will go. Obviously, there's a big bit in terms of how the draft goes as well, because there's obviously, as we always talk about, there's lots of maps that favour dive and lots of maps that favour more brawl, and obviously Quick Esports get to pick map 1 and 3, and nuage get to pick map 2. And I think this actually works out really nicely for nuage, because it's actually quite easy to lean towards dive favoured maps on hybrid, which is the one nuage gets to pick anyway. But Quick Esports going to have a harder time steering away from dive maps on hybrid, whereas it's easier to steer yourself away on the control and on the escort. So as we go into map 1, Quick mostly ban Oasis, but they have been doing Busan a lot recently, so it's something going to lean into that Busan one again. nuage mostly do Busan as well, but I've started varying it up a little bit. They're going to go for Samoa, so I imagine Quick Esports, they normally pick Nepal in these situations. Nepal or Samoa, so I expect we'll go to Nepal, because Nepal is also a map that can be tricky to dive on. We'll go to nuage's first ban for hybrid as well. Normally Midtown or Ike they ban. Imagine they'll go Midtown here. Then imagine it will be a Paricio ban for Quick Esports, just to avoid that dive map. Because otherwise, nuage don't normally pick Paricio, but it's also because nuage normally have Paricio banned against them. nuage actually normally pick Eichenwald. So the expectation probably is if for Quick, if you ban Paricio, you'll take yourself to Eichenwald, and maybe they'll be okay with that. Debating here from Quick Esports. Will be Eichenwald they actually ban. So nuage probably leaning to Paricio here. This is just wide open for him. We don't get to see the maps until the end, but interesting choice from Quicknet to leave Parisio open. We'll come back to that when we get we get confirmation of a pick. So mostly Junker is the ban here for Quick Esports. Now it'll stay the same. And then Shambali or Junker Town are what nuage bans, so very much expect Shambali to be taken off of the cards. And then this leaves Quick in a bit of an awkward position. Probably not Route 66, right? I mean, we have seen Quick Esports play Winston, Kiri, Lucio, so they might try that version of it. And we're going to get Nepal, Parisio, Rialto. So Nepal is probably the best looking one here for Quick Esports as we all jump into lobby. So let me take you with us. We'll jump into it right now. And we're going to be getting this Nepal. Now, this Nepal is probably one of the hardest ones for nuage to play dive on. It's going to be particularly tricky on Sanctum. It's hard to play dive. Eggs is confirming in chat that they did the bans mid warm-up. Yeah, so the Parisio through is probably the big question mark, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I imagine Quick Esports might be forced to play like a Winston, Kiri, Lucio comp there and try and take it to nuage on the dive mirror, but we've seen nuage no slouches in the dive mirror after their close match with Peps last week. On Nepal, this is where it's going to be hardest for nuage to force some of their dive stuff. You might see them still attempt it. Or they might also go the Malga route, not out of the question for them. No surprise in any of the starting lineups here at all. Looks like full rosters available for both teams. Looks like we're just missing Zerion right now from the nuage side, and then we'll jump into it. I think nuage do come into this one strong favourites, and with how that map draft went, Nepal will be the hardest map for nuage, but Rialto, very diveable. Parisio favours dive. So the series will get harder for Quick Esports as it goes on once we get to the more dive-friendly maps. So it's important for Quick Esports to make sure they win this map. I think when you look at Nepal Village, when you look at Sanctum, if you win those, especially on Sanctum, if you can win the first fight, holding close with like some type of Reinhardt comp or any type of Brawl comp, very powerful. So very much expect if they can win that first fight, they'll be in a good position. Likewise on Nepal Village, they'll be in a very good position. Shrine is maybe the most evenly matched of the ones. We'll see if they do opt in to dive here, whether they go. We've seen a lot of Anna from Zerion as well. But we've also seen a decent amount of Kiri Lucio as well. Some of the problems with Kiri Lucio dive when you're playing against Brawl is what we talked about in the Twisted Minds versus SSG series, actually. When you don't have any of those ults available, especially like in the first fights, it can be really tricky. And obviously on Koth, winning the first fight and being able to snowball that sort of ult advantage you normally get from winning first fight is a huge part of it, and it can cause a real problem for the dive team. But it looks like actually it's just going to be a Ram BAP mirror for now. Dip is going to shift himself onto the Sojourn. Keo, we see mostly play Sojourn as well, and it looks like we're more of the same there. Good luck, have funds exchanged in chat. Some French being exchanged, which I can only presume is complimentary. I think Crocs is saying Zerion has been a fan of him from day one. The #1 fan of him. But we're not here to translate French, we're here to watch Overwatch. And it's going to be a hell of a chaotic opening here as both teams vie for control of bridge, but Crocs has the big punch. Tamer's going to get obliterated and separated, and Crocs took all that space. And it was a fierce fight for bridge. Both Lucios and Sojourn swing aggressively. And the late trade from Natsuki will not do a lot. The real damage was made from that initial aggressive move from Crocs across the map to help in this side battle here. Helps focus him down, and now we see Sharp onto Echo, Tamer onto Doom. So a dive retake here, nuage. Maybe just feel it's not as possible in the first fight. Zerion's going to go... Oh wait, he's going Kiri. I was going to say he was going to keep the BAP then. It would have been a controversial take. So no Tracer, and Sharp will be playing the Echo. Obviously Dip normally plays a lot of the Echo here, but going to keep the Sojourn. They're going to swing to point first. Sharp's going to start touching that. China not able to match as well, obviously, on the Symmetra. So they're just going to drop as a team. And actually, Crocs is going aggressive again. Wants to try and punch onto this backline, clear him out. And it will force him to scatter. Has to be careful not to go too far now. Has lots of decent amount of health. Does actually need to get the lamp here. So a potential dive timing now for Tama if he can find it. The lamp has been forced. Eggs is low. The punch is good. Tama from one side, Dip from the other. And having to use that lamp to bail Crocs out of his aggression might end up costing them here, but they've still found value. Looking for Gogo here. And now Tama, they can just swarm over him. Trying to deal with this Kiri first. Punch is missed actually by Tama here. Trying to get the big punch, but no doing. And they're making a bit of a meal here, cleaning this up. And they'll eventually have Crocs fall, but it means Quick Esports are going to get a load of cap time off this. And they're not done yet. Gogo's going to get one more touch, as is China. 1-for-1 trade. Overclock coming through. They think they can win. Does force it. The punch is good, and they will shut it down. Keo was able to get one more trade. They've lost the flip in the midst of this, so I don't know about that overclock from Keo. It felt like they should have just been content with the 67% they had. Thank you, Exhidden, for the Prime as well. I appreciate the support. Enjoyed the Uncoachable. I'm glad you did. It was a good one with Crimzo. I thought it was a really good episode. And now we're going to get Crocs going on to Winston, but it's a huge punch from Tama. It forces a massive Suzu. Now the beat to keep pushing. Gogo's able to match it. They're still just getting punched back into this room. Kitsune rush now to clear Crocs. Crocs is going to have to run, and Gogo gets caught by yet another punch. You cannot come out this top door against Tama. Stop trying! Tama won't let you in. He's the bouncer. He needs ID. Right now, Quick Esports did not have the ID to get through that door. They'll be punched back in thoroughly. We now get a bit of a sort of off-kilter dive mirror. Coming through the kitchen area here. China's going to touch point as the dive comes in. Dip is awfully low, but Boop just about saves his life from Natsuki. Meanwhile, Tama and Sharp are all over the backline. A copy Kiri to make the job done. Both teams trying to trade backline, and Quick Esports have stolen point. But now, Kitsune Rush nearly available from Eggs. But he needs help on point because his copy Kiri is going. Zirion's going to get Suzu'd. The three supports are peeling for each other. They still lose Zirion here, and they don't actually get the copy off. Tama's still hunting them down. Eggs won't get a chance to use this Kitsune Rush. It's a dogfight on point. Remember, Quick Esports have control. They have to win this fight here, nuage. Crocs is low on point, but Keo's back on Cass. Tama, one punch. Tries to get the big punch, cannot get it. Will get forced back out. Meteor strike out now, so he will land with big punch. Another chance for Tama to clutch. He's clutched before on this map, but Crocs is priming them in the back. Looking for the big punch, catches it. Somehow can't convert the kill onto the Tracer, and Quick Esports have done it there. They've weathered the storm. To be fair to them, that should be the hardest map to dive on. And they had to swap to it after first fight, so their ult's a little bit slow as well. And we thought Quick might go in this direction. We've seen him go on to the Kiri, Lucio, Winston before. So not afraid of the dive mirror initially. Crocs translating, assuring everyone they are being flamed by Zirion. Now we'll be getting Ram actually out of a bit of a role reversal here, as nuage are going to roll out on Ram, and Dive will be the choice here. So I don't know if Quick Esports were expecting to run into Dive here again. We'll see what they choose to do, if they stick this or they swap after. Going to take a lot of a point here, and they're all going to rotate except for Crocs. Crocs is lurking to try and cut him from the other side. Will Natsuki be switched onto this? There he is. The boop is good. Natsuki knows, and Crocs is in the pit. Natsuki read the play, saw there was no Winston in front of him. And if there's no Winston in front of you, you can probably guarantee he's about to jump behind you. Natsuki reads the play, boops him into the pitch. Crocs, chance now to swap comp. That fight was over so quick. But Crocs is out on Winston. They're going to stick it. And now they can hold close here. Can make Crocs' engages really difficult with this close hold. Might have to try and play through point instead here on the retake here, Quick Esports, if they can. We're going to see Crocs going coast. We're going to see Dip going through Gogo's head. And now they're going to walk forward, try and get any stagger kills. The TP is forced out. They're chasing them all the way. And they get eggs too. Only ult they've really built so far, Quick Esports, is the overclock. But they're going to be coming back into a window, and they've still got to get through this difficult choke. They're trying to go both sides here. Again, Crocs is going left. And they're going to try and come through main. Crocs with a jump through back towards his team, but does not escape. Again, we see Tama doing a very similar thing that Hattie was doing against the Winston, where trying to use the slow to catch the exit jump of the Winston, catch him afterwards. Make sure he cannot leave. Overclock now coming back. Can use window to match it here, Zerion. Overclock will come through. Tama's trying to focus down Crocs. Now the window comes through, so Tama's got full pocket. Crocs is going to try and go through the window. Doesn't have it. He's so low on health here. The lamp is good. They do get the flip here quick, but their player's down. They can stabilize on the Mega here, and then they can re-push. Difficult sides to clear. Tama's going to walk and slow onto Kyo, try and force him out while Natsuki captures the point. And Quick Esports might not have much of a choice but to give it here. Croc's going to bubble for his Sojourn. Overclock will be popped now as Crocs moves to point. Beat in response, and Crocs is going to get pulse bombed. Playing through the Winston again, and Tama's going to bully everyone out of a choke. 67% and counting. Primal and Beat and Kitsune Rush. All the big ults now finally up, but they've had to concede 70% for it. All nuage have is this Annihilation. Tama might have to use it defensively. Or he might just try and trade it, try and make it a messy fight. As long as they get a lot of ults out here from Quick, they might be okay. Kitsune Rush out the door, though. So Tama's going to try and disengage. Pulse Bomb is blocked by Lamp. They beat forward as well, and nuage have just disengaged both support ults now. They didn't even have to use Annihilation. Going to be happy with that disengage, and now a chance to walk forward again. Slow onto Crocs. They force him back. If they can force an early Primal and Kite Nap, they'd be really happy to. But Crocs is going to try and play his life. Will go all the way out, but this has allowed Zerion to walk up. Annihilation now. Nowhere for Kyo to go. Looking for more. And to be fair, that's the only kill they'll get on Annihilation. But they have the advantage. Natsuki's got the Lucio gap on the low ground. And Crocs is going to have to try and stall out with this Primal. Eggs is going to get one touch. They still have a retake, and there's still 9% to play with. Crocs is going to just about live. Importantly, live fair. They're coming back nearly at Kyo's overclock. But it's going to be a desperate touch for him. China's going to get the first touch. No recall now. Natsuki is going to hunt him down. And actually, Gogo's found the boop. Oh, Gogo's found the boop, but no one can get the touch. That was actually the play. China was being marked out of the game by Natsuki and Sharp. They had the boop. They had the boop. Gogo made the play. They said you can't boop tanks anymore. But I think we know better than that now. Now we move over to Shrine. Now this is probably the one Dive is more viable on, but it feels like nuage are quite happy to take the Ram. Take the Ram. And it looks like this time, now they know it's not a dive guarantee, Quick Esports going to be happy to take the Mirror. So this is the one we'd expect Quick Esports to win. This is the map that most favours their comp. This is the one, this is an important part of the series for Quick Esports. They need to be able to convert this one. First fight so important, both on Soj and Bap here. Crocs is going to walk up the elephant side. Later form from Crocs here. And they will be forced back. First rail attempt is missed by Kyo. They're all on the stairs now. Crocs trying to walk through. Trying to get a bit of space on point here. Slow onto the choke and trying to walk past his Tama. Pressure onto the backline, but Crocs is going all in on Zerion. Can they save Zerion? No, he jumps too high. He can't get into his own lamp. Crocs makes the aggressive move and just able to force the kill on Zerion there. Just walks through everyone, gets the BAP kill. The power of Ram right now. That sets Crocs up to give it back, presumably to Zerion. I think there's going to be not a lot of debate about which player on each team has the biggest mouth. And now we'll go into the ult portion of the fight. And it's actually a faster window for Eggs here. So need to be careful here. They are ready to disengage this nuage, or they might get caught. 10% and counting here. The standard play is to make sure your Sojourn has a rail. Drop the window, look for that one shot. Gonna get aggressive here, so a chance to window back now for sure. Tama's gonna have to try and block out here. Will be forced all the way back. Kyo's found the one shot too. They walk forward, they deal with Tama. And Quick Esports in control of this one. They do manage to trade. Zerion does manage to get the BAP trade. It won't be too consequential here. They'll get Eggs back in time. And now we'll move on to the bigger ult trade, which will be the beat and the annihilations being traded. But Natsuki's beat is so slow, actually. So they can probably still start with maybe the window here from Zerion. But the fact that they don't have a beat is a big problem. It's a big problem for nuage right now. I don't know if they'll realise it. They're walking up quite aggressively. Zirion quite far back, but just have this window. Annihilation and window both pop. Beat to counter him. Overclock over the top from Keo as well, trying to deal with Sharp. Both teams will disengage and live, but now Crocs has this Annihilation advantage, but Dip nearly has this Overclock. Chance to use it, finds the initial rail. They've lost Zirion again, but this Overclock might be enough. Dip needs help. Tracer on him. Can't find the connect. Not able to pop the Overclock. And now, China might not be done. A beat over the top. They have to try and win the fight. They will win the fight with that beat. It finally came up. They managed to stabilize, but ends up costing them a beat more than it otherwise would have. Now coming back, Dip still has this Overclock. Didn't have a chance to use it in the previous fight. And difficult to get the timing right sometimes with these ults like Window and Overclock. When you're the defending team, you hold all the space. You have to use it in a way where the other team can't walk away. Initially, China's just putting out a lot of aggression. China and Crocs have walked up so much. Crocs is low. I don't know if Crocs is going to get out. Dip is going to slide in more aggressively. Lamp out. They do just about survive. No! Sharp's in the back. Finishes off Keo. Now they can keep walking forward. I think Crocs has one more form. But they're looking to finish this fight. They're looking to stagger out for kills. They're trying to focus down Crocs. Crocs is getting full pocket, but it's not enough. They'll chase out Eggs as well. They hold on to the point. And now we'll go into a pretty classic situation, a window trade situation. So normally what you'll see is both windows can come down at the same time, and whoever hits for one shot first needs to be eagle-eyed for this one, as these kills potentially go through quickly. You see Sharp lurking above with a pulse bomb as well as this window trade comes through. Looks for it slow and pulse. Its stick is good. Will force the lamp out. So now this window trade is a little bit scarier. And oh no, Sharp gets caught blinking out. The rail connects on him. So they find the kill with window, and Zirion's window is so far back. They can't really trade for kills. They should be able to touch in time. Tama can get the first touch. Tama's trying to be aggressive, but is surrounded. Now the beat comes in. Natsuki's still 11% away. It could be fatal. Tama's trying to get out. Needs the lamp. Pops the annihilation. Desperate pocket to keep Tama alive. He's just got to full block. They kill the BAP, though. Good target focus from Quick, and that should see him over the end here. A desperation beat. Dip is still in, but he's getting marked by Crocs. Has to come back out. Nearly a chance at Overclock. They're stalling it out for quite a while. Keo wants to finish it first, though. Dip will slide to the higher ground. Hit with one rail. Dip 99%, but can anyone touch? Sharp can get one more touch, but Dip is down. Sharp is down. And Quick Esports win the ball. A back and forth series. Have to say, for the most part, the Ram mirror did go as we would expect it. Quick Esports favoured in that matchup. We'll get a Dip play of the game here. This is where Tama was just gatekeeping up top. Easy clean-up kills while Tama is just keeping the backline on lock. And a nice easy play for game. Straightforward one initially at least. But this is where the series now gets more complicated for nuage. I'll bring you up the scoreboard quick while we wait for the next game. Eggs with 11 deaths, obviously particularly high there. KD-wise, we're probably looking at China. No surprise, either Tracer players always do well in these matchups. Dip as well, as we load into the next map. We're going to go straight into it as well, so not too much time to look at this. I don't know if there's any huge disparities here. I think Tama actually really far ahead in damage. Obviously, they played different heroes at different points. And particularly that Winston round on Sanctum might have really hurt Crocs' overall damage in this one. But we'll go on to Paricio now. Because this is the one... which was obviously it was nuage's pick. And we know if they dive and he'll like to go Paricio. But there is a question of why this map wasn't banned out. Because this was, of course... let's see, what did they ban again? They quick banned Iconwold instead. Obviously, nuage are very good on Iconwold. They beat Peps on it. But now it means they'll be forced into the dive mirror. And as we saw, we did see Crocs struggle a little bit on that Winston on Sanctum. And now he's going to have to run the gauntlet of playing versus Anna Brig. Now, Kiri Lucio can very much beat Anna Brigg. Some people would even argue it's always better. Especially with Kitsune Rush and beat, you can really run over this Anna Brigg backline. Hard for them to live, even if they have rally. But you have to factor in that, especially versus Anna Brigg, there's an expectation that Crocs has in terms of he has to outplay the nade, he has to outplay the sleep. So we'll see him take early space on the right here. Zirian goes for the early sleep, wants to look at it. The nade is dodged as well, so Crocs, still can't live. Still can't live. Tama counter jumps, and this is Tama's bread and butter. He sees a Winston jump in against his team. He will counter dive. He will bubble them off. The nature of Kiri Lucio is you don't have a lot of damage to actually break the bubble, and they catch China here too. Another jump in from Tama, trying to force the issue. Try and get this HUD back for you at some point. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Solomon. Thank you, FACEIT. We've got the HUD back. Holding on. Tracer Echo still on the defense here. Kyo's going to swap and go. Echo not a hero we've seen him on all that often. Tama's going to bubble off again. Nade is blocked. Kyo is awfully low. Tama was considering going deeper, but his block out. His jump out is scuffed. He got booped. Tama will get punished. We talked about the risk of Crocs getting punished here. The sleep is good from Zirian. They do trade the Echo, but it's not enough. And we talked about Crocs getting punished by this Anna Brigg. But it's actually Gogo who punishes Tama here. And that'll open this point up wide. Sharp's going to try and play his life, as is Dip. We'll take the scenic route out. Obviously, in the second point, very hard to fight in this first part. But once you get Anna Brigg on this high ground, you got to feel good about it. It looks like they want to fight early, though. Tama's going to try and jump on the group of them here, but a later bubble comes out from Crocs. He is going to be slept. They're going to turn on him soon. No nade to punish him, though, so Crocs can actually keep him at bay for now. But it's Dip in the backline. He finds the pick. The core of nuage will stabilize, retaking this high ground. Dip manages to snake his way in the back there. Traditionally, you'd often see the Tracer and Winston to be more of the aggressive duo outside of the Echo's ults of a Nano. But this time we see Dip snake his way in aggressively and get value. Now they've got Nano available. Now previously this has found its way onto Dip. And Dip as a gate dove aggressively with the Nano. Has copy as well. Just want to play slow around point here. Might force him to go back to one of the other high grounds. Just trying to get China off point here. Slow and patient. Tama's got a later bubble. Dip's going to try and go behind here. We'll try and get in the bubble. Kitsune rush here, but Tama and Dip want to gatekeep it. They have to deal with a copy Winston behind. Zirian's in a treacherous spot here. But Nano comes out onto Natsuki, and Natsuki is trying to rally his way through everything. He's dealing with this primal in the corner. No way to go. Oh, the copy! The copy Suzu. Is it enough for Pocket? No, not quite. A desperate attempt from Dip to try and pocket through. Will be able to TP out here. Tama is going to get beated on as well. Dip's traded Crocs. This is a chaotic fight. It's going back and forth. Tama still has Primal. X and Gogo are on point, but I don't know if they can finish anything. Kyo's looking for the Echo. Zirian is there. Suzu is good. And now Dip can chase this Echo out. They will be able to stabilize. They will be able to clean out the backline. And it's far from straightforward. They're now on Kiri Lucio themselves here, nuage. And they'll be holding onto the high ground. Full mirror now. Kyo's going to go Cassidy as well, so this is going to make Dip's life very tricky. Tama will bubble in to clear the Winston. Will be forced back. Crocs is going to chase him with the jump bubbles as well, so bubble advantage now for nuage. Crocs will jump out. Is super low, so they have to give space. Chance to be aggressive if they want here, and Tama and Natsuki will oblige. A killer piece. Primal to commit in. They want to try and catch them all. They'll force the TP onto Eggs here. Looking for any more of these kills, and Crocs is low. He might be in trouble. Sharp is hunting him. He gets around the corner. And Tama's actually got magnetic grenades, but Suzu's good to get him out of that one. Now nuage have to reset. They have to get themselves back on the high ground. They do have support ult advantage here, nuage, going into this next fight. So it should be another one they feel confident to take aggressively, but China's going to try and pull a few of them back to point first. Still holding on this high ground. A chance for Zirian just to go. Suzu's then through. Wants to burst through. Laying these kunais in. And they'll win it. They managed to connect directly with him there. Eggs didn't even actually have his Kitsune rush yet. So they'll be sent back to the spawn one more time. Should be able to stall out this Tracer as well. Surely China can't live this. No. Fade away. But they trade Zirian for it. Oh, it's now not worth it at all. Now they can flood forward. China will be back quickly. And they can take a load of space. Quick flooding forward. They have this Kitsune rush. They nearly have the beat as well. Primal advantage too. Pressure onto Gogo underneath. Tama wants to chase that one, but they've stabilized here. They've moved Kyo towards point, and they're going to use Kitsune Rush to focus it. Tama's going to get caught down, and they might just cap off this. Dip's going to get traded. Crocs is all over Zirian again, and that Zirian trade at spawn is going to cost him the second cap. Devastating for nuage here. Devastating for him. That Tracer kill, not worth it in the end. And they got it without using both, or many of their ultimates. They still have a bank of 4 coming in here, Quick Esports. Croc's going to jump onto this high ground. Will get chased out. Is in trouble. Has to primal back. Copy Winston from Dip. They're going to beat in aggressively as well. Loads of ults over the backline here. Nowhere for Gogo to go. He's somehow slinked away from both Winstons. Gogo's given him all the slip and Crocs has traded one. How's Gogo got away with this? Now he's got to dodge for Copy Primal. They finally get their man here. But it costs them so much in the end. Copy and beat used for that in exchange for Primal. And net loss for nuage as they go back to their own high ground. Now a chance to go with beat here. Crocs has to be careful. Crocs has taken so much damage. They try and bubble and catch him. High noon to make sure he gets out. Kyo shouldn't be able to find anything else here. I don't know if Gogo... Yeah, Gogo doesn't have a boop. They're going to try and clear Tama on the right, but Primal is forced. Juggling onto Gogo. Gogo gets the beat off. He's going to be forced in further, though. Gogo's on the back line. Sharp wants to trade that kill. Will trade that kill. Tama's going to regroup with his team, and nuage can flood forward now. Get all these cleanup kills. The beat in was certainly aggressive, but it was only really Gogo who was in with the beat. They wanted more aggressive. They needed China or Kyo to swing or Crocs to be able to commit sooner. No good. A chance to go again. Kitsune Rush available for Zirian. Eggs a little bit behind, so not a lot of they can do right now. Just try and move the cart as far as they can, Quick Esports. Crocs will be forced out. Now they have to wait for their Kitsune Rush. So I'll take the Kitsune Rush trade, but obviously Natsuki's going to have a big beat advantage here. But oh, Gogo's got the pick. What can't Gogo do in this game? They Kitsune Rush in aggressively. Eggs is going to not counter it, actually. Just tries to hold it. They trade 1 for 1. They're getting the payload moving this entire time, actually. Are they just going to die on point here? Take the payload. So essentially a dry fight decision here from Quick Esports. Oh, and Dip's going to copy? Dip's going to copy? Oh, that can't have been worth it. They'd won the fight. They've won the fight. Won't even get the copy pulse bomb. And now all of a sudden they've negotiated a situation where they have Kitsune Rush and Primal and High Noon and Pulse all coming up. Just beat and Pulse on the side of nuage. Tama's going to try and go early. Beat will come out now to keep pushing. They've lost it, but they're still trying to push. But the Kitsune Rush keeps all of Quick Esports alive. A chance to push back here. Kyo's going to swing on the high ground. He's got Tama in sights. Tama is still 20% away from this Primal. If they kill Tama now, he won't get it. One more bubble defensively. Natsuki in trying to trade, but all of Quick Esports have survived. Kyo will avoid the pulse bomb on high ground, and Quick Esports are looking at a full cap. Crocs is at the spawn. Kills the Widow. Primal now from Crocs. Tama won't get his. And it is a full cap for Quick Esports. And Quick Esports, a team who we've seen struggle in a lot of their matches so far. Coming out and winning the dive mirror on the attack there. Full cap. Initiating match. And this is not how nuage expects it to go. When they got Paricio through, we thought it was potentially a fumble in the draft from Quick Esports. Egg said they were having to do it mid-warm-up. The cope, the excuses were in. But maybe. Maybe this is what Quick Esports wanted all along. Important not to count your chickens before they hatch, though. Expect more of the same here. Kyo potentially... No, not committing to the Ash. Will come out on Echo. Crocs claiming him and Gogo are the Bonnie and Clyde of Overwatch, which is... I mean, debatable. I guess I don't know who the counter Bonnie and Clyde is. Obviously, not to spoil Bonnie and Clyde for anyone who's not seen it yet or not heard of the story. But it doesn't end well for Bonnie and Clyde in that film. So I don't know if Crocs is maybe quite aware of the implication he's made here. We'll see if it does end like Bonnie and Clyde for Crocs and Gogo in this one. We're going to get a Kiri Lucio mirror. Off the bat this time. No signs of Ana. Echo's mirrored too. This time though, Kia will be on Tracer and China on Echo. So we'll see how China does on the Echo comparatively. Keo didn't have a large impact really. Bubble down from Crocs. Later bubble as well. Tama tries to jump out. It's not the perfect jump though, and actually Natsuki gets caught. Bubble onto the high ground now from Tama. Oh, it doesn't actually land on the high ground, so has to play it slow. They're keen to get any more trades if they can, Quick Esports. But also happy to maintain the space. A lot of focus in this mirror on the bubble timing. And Sharp's just going to walk in and kill Keo, so... I mean, Echo and Trace are obviously not heroes we expect Keo to excel on, given he's a hit scan player, but a problem here in that opening pick. Now they're going to focus down China. They set that kill up for Dip. And this should be all point control here. Crocs is going to try and reset. Keo is back. If they can trade Tama, he's okay. The Suzu's good from Zirian. Desperate pocket onto Tama here. They just need to try and stabilize a little bit here, nuage. Their health is low. Tama is low. Dip still needs more pocket. They're going to try and bubble at the choke. Crocs wants to cut him off. Later bubble from Crocs here, and Tama will be forced to take a step back again. Now Tama with a slight bubble advantage. They need to move for the touch soon, so Crocs is going to have to just try and jump across point. Kitsune rush out from eggs. They've lost Gogo, and Zirian's going to match it. Bubble on point now from Crocs. They're trying to just win the trade on the Kitsune rush. And they will be able to there. It was always going to be a desperate trade. Keo uses the pulse bomb, but we expect him to swap at this point. Maybe he will go Cass, potentially, and then China will swap after copy. No, Keo going to keep the Tracer, which means he just hates having ultimate. Okay. Well, Keo, maybe not a Tracer player by trade, but he's certainly thinking like a Tracer player by committing the pulse bomb on that lost fight. Coming up top now, and Crocs is going to try and clear it for his team. We'll force him out, and Tama's bubble doesn't land on the high ground, so Tama has to be careful but here. Might have to commit the primal. Beat will come out in response. Copy Lucio in the mix for Dip. Not optimal, but if he gets a beat, it'll be worth it. Crocs with a later primal back. Now pressure onto this Echo. They're going to have to regroup here, and Quick Esports have held the space. Crocs is actually trying to flank all the way behind. Will get boot back. To commit to this jump, has to jump straight back out, so Gogo now has to get out as well. Beat push from Natsuki. They've got all their eyes on Crocs. Crocs will try and jump away. Full sticked and beamed down by Dip. And now they have to try and reset. China's going to be forced out of this copy. They're going to focus down Keo behind, focus down Gogo behind. Dying on point now for Quick Esports. They want to get another fight. They don't really have any ultimates coming back. Kitsune rushes are the closest for both teams. Now we get Keo swapping onto the Cass. China going back to spawn to swap to Tracer now as well. One last fight. No ultimates aside from a sharp pulse bomb. All about this Kitsune rush. And Eggs has got it slightly faster here, so chance to use that if they get into trouble. Bubble on the corner to clear this Winston here, and Crocs will respond with a bubble of his own, so the space is maintained. Kitsune rush now available for Eggs. I imagine we won't see any rush here from nuage until they have a Kitsune rush of their own. Both teams content for now. Now the Kitsune rush is going to be mirrored by both Kiris. Both teams stabilizing on point again. Pulse bomb in on Croc. Sharp connects it. Is good. Just winning front to back here. Tama's going to have to bubble defensively. They're still trying to force it in. Dip with the copy. Cassidy. Magnetic grenade is good. And they will take over. More deaths on point now for Quick Esports. China's going to use his pulse bomb here in a lost fight. Well, you can't resist, I guess. I guess you can't resist. You should be able to resist if you're a Tracer player, but I guess if you're on Quick Esports, you can't resist. So now, 3 minutes, 50 seconds time bank attack in third. Remember, if they finish with over a minute left, it won't be another attack for Quick Esports. But an initial punish on Tama, and honestly, Quick Esports have had a lot of success here. Normally, it's nuage we talk. We talk about playing very much to punish the enemy Winston, and it's how they had some of their success against Peps. But it's actually Tama who I think who's been caught more often here in this dive mirror. Crocs is going to go in to spawn. Defensive boot from Natsuki keeps his team alive, and Quick will reset. Beat and Primal's available as Tama goes in. High noon used defensively from Crocs. Tama can get out of that one though, so they'll just disengage that ultimate for free. Trying to swing out here onto Sharp. He has to blink away. A chance to come through the right-hand side now, and Tama's got the jump onto the DPS, trying to force him back. It's Gogo who's caught, though. They've separated them out. Eggs won't get out either, if they just won without using any ults. A huge economic victory here, but they have still been traded here, so they're willing to make it a dogfight. Spawn is closer for nuage, so they'll win over time. Just want to reset here, Quick Esports, and they should be able to. Important they can get Keo out, but the team is there. They'll stabilize. But it means nuage gets some of this free point pressure. Crocs is going to dive behind, but it's a Kitsune Rush push up front. Gogo with a defensive beat. Doesn't catch Crocs, but he has Primal if he gets in trouble. He's going to commit it now. Beat in response from Natsuki. And they're actually chasing behind. Pulse Bomb's good by Sharp. They're cleaning up behind first, but Zirian, he's caught in. Can he TP out? He can TP to Tama. Will be okay. China and Eggs coming behind, though. Zirian has no cooldowns, has another TP soon. They'll focus down Crocs. 2 minutes left on the clock. Remember, for nuage, they don't just want to finish the map. They want to finish it with a minute or more left on the clock, and Tama's going to have this Primal in spawn. No great ults coming back for Quick Esports. Tama can make this touch horrendous. Horrendous for the side of Quick Esports here. He's got his eyes on the backline. He's got the backline contained. He's got the Tracer contained. Gogo going down. Didn't even need the Primal. They've actually lost Natsuki here. I'm going to try and trade on the Kiri. Wants to try and catch for cash. Keo not allowed back in spawn. No way back. Tama will clean it up. 1:37 left on the clock. They just need to clean kills quickly. One more touch coming in from Gogo. No. 1:34 left on the clock. And nuage get their free shot. Their free shot at a map victory here. Draw at the worst. A draw at the worst. As there is more heated chat. Zirian pointing out Gogo is 8 and 12 and client of the day. All right. Of course, even though a draw is guaranteed, a win is not guaranteed at all for nuage. 1 minute 34 seconds, not a lot on Paraiso. Interesting decision now for Quick Esports. We saw Keo play the Echo one time on defense, the Tracer one time. Neither felt particularly good. No surprise maybe just to see Sojin coming out. And they actually want to go Junker Queen with this? I don't know about this. Don't know about this. Obviously, there's a chance to punish. There's a chance to punish for Winston. Thank you, Overwatch Dorito, for the 3 months. Appreciate it. So a chance to punish for Winston here. But obviously, there's all these high grounds around the point. All around here, here. All these places that are hard for the Junker Queen to ever get back to if she drops. We'll see what their decision is. Going to be a grapple shot initially from Dip. One of the more predictable grapple shots. But Keo's going to play with fire anyway. And it'll be an Echo swap coming out. They're trying to put pressure onto Tama. They want to punish him. They Suzu the slash. So they have to take a step back here. And did they commit Shout for that? They committed Shout. Always have to be careful with your Shout committal because there's a big window afterwards where you can be punished. Now we see those high grounds being used. Pressure onto Gogo. Will be forced all the way back, but it's Zirian who's traded actually. Crocs has found it. Has time to type noob in chat as well. Crocs with a defensive Shout now. Pressure onto him. Tama will get caught by the slash. Now just to avoid trading if you're Quick Esports. Keo gets back to the high ground. Natsuki is coming, but the pocket is good. And they weather the first storm. One more attempt here. And they've got to find their way past. But again, Crocs is lurking here. Looking for a knife, looking for a catch. Spots for Lucio. Wants to push aggressively. Catches the knife, the slash. He's gone too far. Crocs has got the pick again. Shouts to get himself and his team out of that. And Crocs has found the pick both times. Has to be careful not to get caught here by anything. They just need to stabilize. There is one more touch because that fight was over so quickly. No ults to speak of just yet. Eggs is closest to this Kitsune Rush. No ults yet for nuage. First touch by Sharp, cleared off point. Shout now from Crocs. Oh, the slash connects. He's done it again. Crocs has got the opening pick in every fight. Pulse bomb from Sharp is no good. Now the Kitsune Rush. Zirian doesn't have it to match. And Quick Esports, they'll hold strong. Tama gets one desperate touch. Will get Suzu'd on, but beat now from Gogo over the top. There's just no time to get any of the ults. He's the Master of Queen. How's he got away with it every single time, just holding close? He trades for Kiri, he trades for Lucio, he trades for Yeko of all things. And Crocs for Savior for Quick Esports Fair. And certainly enjoying himself. We'll even get a Winston player for game. 60 FPS got us back. This is the one on their attack. Just spawn camp and then while the cart's being forced in. Easy kills in the end. And Paricio will end in a draw. End in a draw. We'll get invited to the next one. And we'll go to Rialto. Obviously, the score remains 1-0. I'm not sure what the exact rules are. If, let's say, obviously, if nuage win this map and we finish tied up 1-1, what happens then? I don't know. I don't know. I'll get my research team on it. I'll get my research team on it, and we'll find out. HUD should update shortly with a side swap. It still thinks we're on Paricio now. Once FACEIT updates, the HUD will update, and we'll all be sitting pretty. Just waiting for Quick Esports as we go into this third one. It will be Rialto, of course. Crocs is loading in. Getting all 60 of those FPS ready to use here.
Initiating match.
The HUD should update shortly and get the sides correctly, so don't believe your eyes right now. It is Quick Esports on the left of your screen and nuage on the right. nuage obviously have to win this to keep themselves in it. And we'll see how it goes. Decisions, of course, as well. The dive maybe hasn't been going as well for nuage as they would have expected. Paricio, they weren't able to convert. They got caught out by the Queen. Crocs now has more than 60 FPS. I guess the question is, will the 60 FPS help or hinder him? Was he actually better with less FPS? Who's to say? We might get a little bit of a clash here as well with our next game, the R8 versus Ents one. We'll try our best to squeeze in all the action, but obviously the nature of these games, if they're close, it can cause us problems. So yeah, I'll turn the HUD off for a second just because we're having a few issues with it updating. It is obviously Quick Esports on the left-hand side in the blue, and it's nuage on the right, and it is Dip in the respawn queue straight away. Happy to take the dive. Mirror, they've got the bubble off onto Tama now, so a hard exit for him. He should go down here, surely. The Anabrig pocket, not enough. And they'll chase him all the way back to spawn. Walking back. Trying to clear out Crocs. They'll successfully clear out Crocs so they can move themselves to the next corner. Playing aggressively over this high ground. The Anabrig have walked up top now for nuage. Go for the nade, it catches Go-Go, but no follow-up. Crocs will bubble back. Tama with the later bubble as they try and push forward. Suzy to keep peeking here, and they're happy to keep him contained in this corner. Now Keo has a big swing over the top of him. They have to be careful. Dip will try and respond, successfully responds. They're still trying to push back, but the backline is dead for Quick Esports. There's no healing. Sharp and Dip are still trading, though. This fight is far from over. Dip now wants to keep pushing through. Chases them all the way out. And those trades, they always favour the attackers in this portion of the map, which means they'll be able to take a lot of this initial space. Trade, though, coming back here, and that's going to slow down all that progress, all that potential free space they had. doesn't exist anymore, and stuffed back at the choke one more time. Pulse Bomb to keep chasing. I don't think there's enough follow-up on that. Crocs is going to drop down, though. Tama wants to keep going. Nano onto Natsuki to push back here. They're happy to brawl. Eggs is low. Suzu doesn't save him. Now all the space. Beat in response. Natsuki is going to drop this rally. Wants to try and keep everyone alive. They do stabilize. And Quick Esports, they're going to have to concede for space. They're going to have to take a fight on point on the cap itself. Primal to keep going, though, from Tama. Wants to take him into spawn. Gets Go-Go. The chase is on, but they'll be okay. Crocs does have it coming back. Will bubble off this overclock for now, but Crocs has Primal to keep this one contested. Dip has a copy Winston on the go. They're just going to try and slow it down at the choke. Crocs coming back with Primal if they need it. Dip looking to try and get that copy Primal. Can't do. Sleep onto Crocs for nade. It's massive for nade. They only trade 1 for 1 though, and now Crocs is trying to Primal the backline. Zyrion's in huge trouble. Will go down. They're still trying to win the fight on point, but Crocs will be back soon. And they don't even need him. They're winning the fight anyway. 1 minute left on the clock, and nuage desperately running out of time. Desperately running out of time.
60 seconds remaining.
Holding on to the high ground here. A similar look. We see Go-Go sit a little bit further back just to make sure point isn't stolen away from him. China's pulse bomb attempt will miss. Nano coming back now for Zerion. Expect this. I could go in the way of Dip here. They could just bubble off the backline and try and use the Nano Echo to either dive aggressively or to focus down the Winston. Not a lot of great tools to respond with, except maybe a well-timed Suzu. They just need to buy time for Eggs to get this. It's going to be a dive onto the backline here. Zerion's going to drop the Nano onto Tama. Bubble off, forces for recall, looking for his next target, wants to keep focusing. The Tracer down, the Tracer's so low. They do finish for Tracer, they look to force for point. Pressure now onto Go-Go, and now we can sweep forward onto the backline. Crocs is there. They're going to Kitsune Rush, actually. Eggs thinks they can win it. What if Eggs is right? They're all so low. They're all so low. Crocs trying to come back on. Tama has Primal, though, trying to body block it. Finishes off 1. We're into overtime. Eggs has made the trades work. Tama has to try and clean everything up. Also needs to touch as well. Needs more help on point here. Trying to force for C9. Has to go for the Mega. Has to touch again. Will get focused down now. Desperate need for Suzu is good. Tama is somehow still alive. Zerion's back. Natsuki's back. Have they done it? Crocs is coming back on Malgar. He can't touch. And somehow, someway, Tama against the world. Manages to clutch it out. Tama had to do everything there. The Suzu was perfectly timed, and Crocs is right. My man on the ground, Crocs. He's right, the Suzu was perfect, exactly what they needed. And Tama, the hero of the moment, but there's still a lot more to do. They've still got to finish Rialto. But Payode hasn't moved up that far as they go from this trade. Copy Winston at Troke. They're going to sandwich Kyo in. I've never seen one man surrounded by so many monkeys. And Kyo will not get out of that one. Dip's going to keep going. Wants to get his copy Primal on the go. Will just use it to regroup with his team, though. And they get the cart rolling. 1 minute 30 left on the clock. They are now on Kiri Briggs, so a bit of an improvised composition. But Kyo's going to swing forward aggressively with the overclock. Force them to reset. They want to go for more kills here. Crocs is behind him. Natsuki is stuck in. Nowhere for Natsuki to go for Pulse Bomb. Overkill in the end. Tama's going to jump back and get Zerion out as well with this TP. They'll bubble everyone and regroup. Quick Esports have re-control of the bridge. Kyo sort of messes up his slide out here. Might be in trouble. The slide out is a whiff. Now Zerion's going to drop the Kitsune Rush. It's maybe a little bit early, but they can still clean up a lot of the kills. Croc's going to try and survive. Wants to try and get out here. Stagger kills would be devastating, and Sharp finds one. The touch is so awkward now without that. Eggs might have to Kitsune Rush early, but no, Dip trades as well. China's able to force for counter trade. Now the Kitsune Rush from Eggs. They want to fight it. Zerion nowhere near his. Obviously just use it. Tama has for Primal. They might need another clutch. Is he going to look for it again? He lives behind. Are they just slowing it down? Just slowing it down. Tama's going to live behind. It's a Primal apiece. Crocs has his one going, though. Has to try and drop it. Finds the kill. Focus on the Echo now as well. Dip's going to be stuck in the corner. Can he find the finishing blow? Needs to find his finishing blow. Can. The trades are good. Tama's trying to do the same on the other end now. Primal to Primal in the backline here. China is low. They can trade for kills, but Tama has nowhere to go. Surely can't get out of this one. 10 seconds left on the clock, and the touch is going to be so hard, if even possible. Natsuki maybe needs a rollout. Needs a rollout. Needs to somehow get beat as well. Dip goes for it. No, no touch. Dip dies before the touch. And it ends up just being a first and a bit, really. First and a bit.
Switching sides. Initiating match.
In the balance. But Cook Esports probably relatively happy with that. It took nuage a mighty clutch at the end of first. A mighty clutch to win that one. It doesn't work out.
Ready.
And now a very winnable situation, but it's definitely in the balance. Both teams could defend, could win here. Successful defense, really possible with that distance. And we'll have to wait and see. We'll just be Kiri, Lucio, Mirror from the get-go. Dip, sticking to the Echo. And honestly, that late trade from Dip when they were holding forward, devastating. Devastating for them. A crucial mistake. When they needed it. Well, when they needed it least.
3, 2, 1.
Obviously, Echo very strong on this first part of the defense. These big buildings and high grounds to play around can just drop in behind anytime they try and take top. Expect to see some of that. Croc's going to jump up on the high ground initially. Wants to save bubble. And does. They get the cards in his first corner. Croc's. Not quite enough height in that one. So, we'll save bubble at least. Tama has used bubble, so now bubble advantage. Maybe Crocs did it on purpose. Maybe he's a few steps ahead. Or maybe he just messed up the jump. Again, Crocs comes now. Bubble. Tama's got bubble advantage to come back with. nuage will take a peek with it. They try and go in, but Dip actually gets traded for it. That aggressive play. Try to focus down Go-Go. But doesn't find it. Gets punished for it. Now we're going to have to die on point. Looking for any desperate last-minute trades. Zirian TP's in. Any trade is good if they can find it. Sharp still going for it. Gets Crocs, actually, of all people. Crocs. Ramping up the pressure. Calling out Dip. Giving him advice mid-game. Very nice of Crocs to offer some advice to Dip mid-series. They managed to stabilize on the cap here. Kitsune rushes coming up soon for both Kirikos. Will just be a brawl on point. Tama's going to bubble off Crocs. Both bubbles are exchanging. Natsuki's actually caught in this one, so Tama has to primal early. They've lost Sharp as well. 2 players down. They need a kill with this primal. But Go-Go and X, they can just focus for Peel. Zirian TP's in as a desperation play. And it's all quite straightforward now. All quite straightforward for Quick Esports. Did Crocs fail another jump? 4 minutes 30 left on the clock. Crocs continues to keep it noisy in chat. Kyo's going to swing onto the high ground. They bubble up aggressively. Kitsune Rush will be aggressive as well. Kyo separated onto the low ground. Go-Go will regroup, but it means they're split, they're divided in the backline. But Crocs and China, they're still doing it. Primal over the top. It's just a fight of trades right now. They're still moving the payload. China, Crocs, and Go-Go seeing how much more they can get. One more jump in from Crocs. Has to bubble defensively. They beat to keep going, actually. Very aggressive, controversial decision here. Dip's going to copy back here. Will blink back. And now without that beat, huge ult advantage now for nuage, and they won't need it. They managed to catch him as well. China, don't think he'll be able to get out here. Sharp is tracing him. And Crocs will try and play through the Mega. Also going to get caught by Dip. And that beat, they didn't need for clutch there from Go-Go. Maybe the excitement, the rush of blood to the head. The aggressive playstyle Quick Esports often try and play with costs them there. Still 3.5 minutes on the clock though. Plenty of time to convert this advantage. But they have Nothing but the overclock, so Kio's going to start with that one. Tama is all over him, getting full peeled. Primal on now. Still more peel onto Kio. And Tama's going to have to give the space. They regroup. They beat now. There's kind of not too much to beat on. They will get the cleanup kills, but they probably had stabilization in that fight. Don't like that beat at all from Natsuki. They win the fight for the cost of 2 ultimates. And maybe not in this very next fight, but the fight after this should give a pretty clear advantage for Quick to convert. The bridge can be a tricky crossfire. They're just going to hold the choke here, nuage. Again, probably the best part of the map for the Echo to play. Tama's going to try and go aggressive against Boop to the low ground, so they try and swing any. Kitsune rushes will be traded. Now Tama rejoins his team on the fight. Pressure onto Zerion. He will go down. It's 2 picks apiece. They keep trying to force it. It's 3v3. The defender spawn is slightly closer. They're going to lose Tama. Dip desperate for a trade. Nearly has copy. 90%. Crocs denies the Mega though. Dip looking for it. Can't get the copy. Sharp has to recall. Just play his life. His supports are coming. Crocs wants to go. The Primal does nothing but preserve his own life though. Chance to come back. They want to beat to keep going. They want to push into the spawn. Crocs is desperate for a kill. Forces for copy out of Dip. Dip's going to come contest point now with Tam, and that second bubble will do wonders for him, but they've lost Sharp in the meantime. nuage need kills, but they're losing everyone on point. Forced out of a copy. They're trying to anchor point, and Quick Esports, they've lost 2, but there's enough. It's just Natsuki. He gets forced off, and Quick Esports do it in a dive mirror. They do it in a dive mirror. Congratulations to Quick Esports. Massive for him in the end. We'll have to wrap this one up quickly because the next game, R8, is starting. Relatively quickly. So we can do a quick scoreboard check. A quick player of the game. I think for me, player of the game, I don't know. I feel like Crocs had lots of bad plays, but ultimately, what a hero he was in the end on that Junker Queen. And we know what a big part of the cooling structure and the leadership Crocs is. I think either that or China. I think China had very consistent performances. Getting a lot of value. Gogo, I think, actually played very well. Yeah, 19-4 on the second map. Where is he? Yeah, 10-7. So I think, I don't know, player of the match for me, maybe a toss-up between Crocs. Crocs partly for the mental warfare, partly for the Junker Queen. Either that or China, but I think it was, you know, China always puts in a shift on Tracer. So as much as there was maybe a couple of failed jumps, a couple of ugly moments from Crocs, there was also a couple of hero moments from Crocs. I see a few people asking for an interview, but we're actually tight for time. The next series is starting, so we're going to have to wrap that one up. We'll end the recording there from that one. Great series in the end, well earned by Quick Esports, sees them shoot up the table, a really important win in their battle for 8th place. So thank you for watching, and we'll move on to our next series.